Tattooing is beautiful, but it's also vulnerable. And right now, there are two things that are threatening it: broken systems and bad design. When I started tattooing 25 years ago, I thought that it would be great just to be a great tattoo artist, and that was enough. But over time, I saw that tattoos don't last unless an artist knows how to make them last. And I also, firsthand, have dealt with many of the crushing laws that make no sense. For those of you who know, we've been fighting for tattooing now for years, over a decade. And I've realized that tattooing needs more than just great artists. It needs protectors, honestly. And nowadays, it needs honest critique. Did you know you can tattoo legally in one state and then cross the border and suddenly you're breaking the law? Shoot, there's some states where you just go from city to city and your licensure doesn't transfer. That's because licensing is inconsistent. I mean, that's obvious. For anyone who's been in the industry for any period of time will know that it is just completely broken down from state to state, sometimes city to city and county to county. Now this affects traveling to conventions, getting guest spots, for the apprenticeships. My golly. For apprentices, this is such a task because some states you gotta go to a school. Some states you gotta take a 2-year apprenticeship. Some states you need a bloodborne pathogen, right? So it's super inconsistent, and it's artists or clients or promoters of events, we all lose because this is broken and unclear. That's why I fight for clarity. That's why I'm working to build some tools to be able to help answer some of these complex laws and issues that we're facing right now. Because protecting tattooing is protecting people. You know, the fastest way to ruin a good tattoo isn't always the products or the inks that we use, but it's the design. You know, I've seen artists design tattoos that are specifically made for the picture, for the Insta, right? Not for 5 years from now. They ignore things like line weight, contrast, fit and flow. You know, a lot of people try to avoid critiques because they think they're hate. But if they're done right, they're actually a form of love, because iron sharpens iron. A heel tattoo should look as good as the day it was tattooed. You know, protection without critique is just survival. And critique without protection is just noise. Artists need both. They need clarity on how to practice legally and guidance how to design tattoos that last. You know, protectors keep the door open, but critics make sure the art is worth walking in for. Together, they safeguard tattooing's future. You know, my role is to stand in both lanes, shielding artists from broken systems while sharpening their craft. Because if tattooing loses either of these, it loses its legacy. You know, in 25 years, I learned that tattooing isn't just about putting ink into skin. It's what we put into people around us. It's not about our name. It's about what we leave, you know, what we do with this industry, with this craft. And it's so important that we protect it and we critique it. That way we're leaving it better than when we came to it. It's about building the tools and the strategies and the connections, teaching the next generation. So that way we're standing up for the craft and making sure it's left better. You know, if this matters to you, you know, whether you're an artist, a client, or just someone who loves tattooing, stick with me. You know, share this or comment your story below. Let's build a movement that protects tattooing's future together. You know, tattoos are permanent. So let's make sure that their beauty and legacy are permanent too.